Hey folks, something missing in my garden. Let's go look. Alright, look at all these tomatoes. This one's 6-7 feet tall, blooming. There's fruit all over them. Some of the fruit's ripening up. But these tomatoes have to go. It's sad, isn't it? It's really sad. It makes me angry that I have imported Grazon aminopyrrolid herbicide into my beds in the hay that I use for mulch. And therefore, I'm not willing to eat the fruit that comes off of a tainted tomato plant. These tomato plants, you can see they're deformed. The leaves are deforming in that typical way that an aminopyrrolid harms a dicot plant. This is not water stress. You can see these plants are otherwise healthy and strong. They're putting on some fruit, some really nice fruit, but they are damaged by herbicide, and therefore I cannot trust that the fruit on these are going to be good to eat. Nor can I use these for compost once I cut them down, because compost doesn't break down this molecule. This is a persistent herbicide, and that's why it's so dangerous. Is it can be composted, it can go through a cow's digestive tract, it can come out in manure, you can compost it again, and that herbicide still persists, and that's what's tainted my bed. Now, I didn't have a strong contamination. The contamination in my bed was actually pretty light, and that's why my plants are continuing to grow. And I expect that once we remedy this bed by planting corn in it, that we'll pull up all that herbicide and can use this bed normally maybe this fall, maybe next spring. But what I've done is I've come in and I've sown corn. You can see the corn is coming up, and this is a flint corn. I've sown corn all through the bed. Now that it's coming up, I need to clear out these tomatoes, sadly, and make room for the corn. Corn is a monocot. It's a grass. It is not affected by the herbicide, but it will take the herbicide up through its roots and store it in the leaves. And so these tomatoes and that corn that I bring out of this bed, those plants cannot be composted, because I'll just be putting that herbicide back into my system, and I don't want to do that. So today is a sad day, but it's a necessary day, and hey, that's how we learn. Sorry, fella. Now I'm going to leave the roots behind, because all that root system in there will actually decay in place. I don't do any tilling in this bed, and the corn's already growing up around it, so those roots will provide nutrition, and as they rot away, they'll provide root channels for this corn. So that is a sad day. Thank you, Dow AgroSciences, for wasting a crop. That makes me mad, really mad. I can't use that stuff in the compost pile, but I think it's safe enough to use on an old mature tree as chop and drop mulch and fertilizer. I'll just let that kind of rot in place. What a sad day, huh? Well, here's just a little part of my cost that I have lost. My investment. All this was supposed to be in my table. That's just a little bit of the fruit that we have lost out of this garden thanks to irresponsible agricultural practices. We can see now where the corn is, so I can mulch around it and get some of these weeds suppressed before everything goes haywire. And depending on how dense this corn it gets, I'm thinking of planting some cowpeas in between. Other good news, I have tomatoes in pots. These were not affected by Grazon. Other good news, I got some cowpeas are coming up. It's always something to smile about. What's interesting, this is the next day after pulling these tomatoes out. You can see the stump there. They have been weeping out all day in this heat, trying to pump water up from the ground and into the plant. And there's nothing to pump into, so it's just been pumping out at the top of that stump. Kind of sad, huh? Down there they think it's still alive. Up here on the top side, not for long. On the plus side, I still have some tomatoes. This is a bush Goliath, I believe. Yeah, and I got another ripe one over there. Not bad. Lots of cucumbers coming in, so I'm gonna be making pickles this week or next week. So it's not all bad in the garden. Ripening bell peppers. Lots and lots of bird peppers. There you have it. Sacrificial crop being put in because of bad practices in agricultural sciences. And that herbicide is irresponsible. That herbicide is dangerous and it's killing gardens more than we know. And so there you have the problem with persistent herbicides. Hopefully this corn will do the job and take it up and come back and grow in this bed again some normal crops. Well, thanks for joining me on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Like us on Facebook and Instagram. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.